underground is where you'll find us. A couple of grinders trying to find our way out, put this darkness behind us. And underground is my oration, sound integration. But situation is we're surrounded by light negation. It's black as pitch cause we're trapped by our violent souls. In a deep mind with deep rhymes won't keep my self-control. Too many foes, we feel snake bit and we won't take it. Enemies need their face hit, we going ape shit.
Hell is my confinement within this mind. Now trapped and enshrined by my own mind.
Shoot through these tunnels and keep it moving, dumb knuckle dragging. It's like a jungle, etc. Keep zigging and zagging. These lizards ready to fire in military attire. Fetus cannons and higher arsenals, bangers for hire. We only got double barrels, but we don't monkey with them. Just throw shots and we hit them to this industrial rhythm. Still searching for the light, still more to fight. Still at war with our plight, but still we're sure of our own collective might.
Hell is my confinement within this mind. Now trapped and enshrined by my own mind. Hell is my confinement within this mind. No way out, we're running out of time.
Time to get fractious, we practice guerrilla tactics. Regular G's can't match this, so I ain't trying to attack us. I'm a bad boy like Diddy, but I ain't talking Sean John, cause it's on like Son of Khan. Gots to get our shit on. That means we simply simulate simians simultaneously. And all y'all snakes beastin' to kill us is living dangerously. Straight bananas is the conflict these opponents hand us. So battle status in these catacombs, we got no manners.
All I know is pain to give the same. All I have ingrained is hate. Misery of shame forever will remain. So I must regain my faith.
This all seems endless, threats come relentless in this zoo. No one defends us, and they won't commend us when we're through. It don't matter, cause I'm after something resembling peace. I get madder every other day that this shit don't cease. Since our conception, downward has been my life's direction. Had no protection from evil factions and predilections. Heart of a killer, gorilla, pillar of coffin fillers. Nothing vanilla about us, true thriller, minute gorillas. Our main position, this mission, is to improve conditions. And it's our own volition, we ain't looking for permission. Vanish from our position like we're magicians. In addition, our plan to see freedom's light comes to fruition.
Hell is my confinement within this mind. Now trapped and enshrined by my own mind. Hell is my confinement within this mind. No way out, we're running out of time.
We ain't taking it, we going ape shit. We ain't taking it, yeah, we going ape shit. We going ape shit. We going ape shit. We going ape shit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's me, Dukect, back with you once again here live on TalkStreet.com and also doing a live stream on the YouTubes. How are you doing this Thursday evening? And man, we got some things to talk about, things that went up, some things went down, and a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things got brought up, including the forbidden door that was opened this past week on AEW, and the first one to go past that door was KENTA, the New Japan Pro Wrestling former Hideo Itami of WWE and NXT, and he is looking for Jon Moxley, and he's looking for the NJPW United States Championship, the IWGP United States Championship. That's what he's looking for. And with help of his brother and Kenny, he got a little bit of retribution as Kenny Omega and Kenta fought against Lance Archer and Jon Moxley in a Tornado Tag Rules match. And let me tell you, it was fun, exciting, and Kenny Omega picked up the victory. But Kenta's just went after and wailed on, completely wailing on Jon Moxley because he wants that belt. He needs that belt. He's been holding this briefcase saying that he's the number one contender for that belt. And since the pandemic, he couldn't be able to do anything with it. He couldn't get that belt. But now he wants it. He is hungry and he wants that U.S. championship. And I think that he's crazy enough to do it. I believe he can. But what does this mean, actually? What does this all mean? And before we get more into it, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna have some words to say about all of this. There's some really good stuff to get into. All of this, all about all this craziness, this insanity. But I want to get your thoughts on this. Leave something in the comment section as well. The live chat is always unlocked, not just here, but also on TalkShoe as well. But remember, if you want to call in to the show, if you want to actually connect with me, Dukect, the link to the link right there to connect with me, Dukect, is in the chat room on lockdown as well. You want to use your headset, follow this down here. You can connect with me with Dukect with the headset, the microphone. You can talk about this subject. You can talk about how everything is going down. But if you can't connect to me that way, there's always phone number. And the phone number, as always, to the show is 605-562-0444. Once again, the number is 605-562-0444. And the show ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the show ID is 92417. You do that and you connect to me, Dukect, here on the Dukect Lounge. And I put the numbers here on the on the chat. You put this here, right there, phone number and show ID right here. And we can sit there and we can have that we can have a nice call, a nice little talk for the people. We can talk. But, get your thoughts on this situation. Because when you look at this, the forbidden door, and why is this, this whole thing started? Because what AEW is doing is they have been talking about this, trying to do all this other stuff with other companies. And what does that mean? There's going to plan to do more stuff. They're planning to do all these other things. Like, the plan now is basically he wants, as you see right here, let me see essentially, let me just put this let me just here, share the screen here, put this in the Chrome tab. this right here is that with the Forbidden Door open, are AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling in a working relationship? With this, is people have been here, John Moxley and Kenta, all these things talking about this stuff here, saying Moxley and Kenta. Excuse me. And there's been talk about this. In fact, before this, they even talked about this, pandemic. Remember, Jeff Cobb made his debut fighting John Moxley on Dynamite. And he had a good match. Him and Jeff Cobb had a good match, but he was under the New Japan Pro Wrestling contract. It was very interesting. The door was a little breaking in and breaking out. The door was like on a, the door was already, slightly open, but not as big open. It wasn't as the big open. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't big open. But it was a little cracks there, a little screen there. But then, like I said, apart from Cobb, Moxley, and Jericho were already under New Japan contracts. No other wrestler featuring New Japan and such. And look at this, Tony Khan. He's at the entrance like this. The location is at the Forbidden Door. So he's not in Florida anymore. He's in the Forbidden Door. Well, hopefully, hopefully the Jaguars can contact him or whatever. But is that the same like door where like the Kingdom Hearts and such? Is that the Kingdom Hearts thing? The door. No, that's the door to light. Is he right next to there? Is that the door? Because if he is there, maybe he can help Sora out. Lord knows he needed it. But yeah, he is in the door and such. And now the question is, Kenta Ibushi, all these other things, could they actually fight for it? Could they actually fight in AEW and vice versa? Very interesting. I remember excuse me. I remember a lot of people might be pissed off because the Bullet Club members of Japan, Kenta, Jay White, Tamatonga, Bad Luck Fale, and such. They might not. They've been vocally saying that what Kenny Omega doing is like, nuh-uh, we ain't with this. They don't want this. They ain't want this. That's what it is. I mean, that's what it is, people. Of like, they are just really upset. I won't be surprised when things start to open up, and hopefully they are. Lockdowns are starting to open up. I wouldn't be surprised that not just Kenta, but the Bullet Club. I think that maybe they all gonna be like, oh, they might be a little bit happy, but they're not gonna come in and be like, Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers, and Young Bucks. All of them are gonna be like, we're coming in to end this. Y'all might have been cool, but y'all went off. Y'all left the Bullet Club. Y'all became your own thing. We're going to time to clean this mess up. They might be, you think Kenny Omega's the cleaner? No, they're going to start doing some real cleaning. And that might mean everything. They might just they're going to annihilate Omega. They're going to annihilate everybody here. They're looking to be maybe, looking to take out this Bullet Club. Maybe even, by the way, after all of this, where's Cody in all this? Because remember, he was part of that, the American Nightmare, since he moved on. I mean, maybe that's why he's slowly getting all this, all of these people in the American Nightmare family, just in case things start to go down. Just in case things about to go really south, he's like, I'm getting this young and interesting talent in his corner for just in case things might be getting very, very, um, very badly. Things might get, uh, how would you say, out of hand. And when things start to get out of hand, well, there's going to be there's going to be consequences, really big consequences. And anyone who's had a membership or there or even talked about it, don't be so surprised if it's going to be just, you know, no one's really going to actually connect with you. No one is actually connecting or doing anything like that. So what that's going to be the that's gonna be it, man. That's people are gonna be like, oh, what's the worst that can happen? That's what's gonna happen. They might start coming after them. And well, what happens when that happens is not going to be it's not gonna be a pretty it ain't gonna be a pretty thing, people. It's not gonna be pretty. And they're gonna be like coming hard, very hard against anyone. This new Bullet Club in Japan might be like, we're cleaning up all that mess. So that's what it is. Anyway, but not just that. Maybe again, like the article says, yeah, that's what it is. Because hey, also, what about others? I mean, this could be other people out there. We have again Kota Ibushi, Okada. I mean, they could be showing up. I mean, Okada might have a little bit of night terror going back to Florida because all the stuff that happened in Impact Wrestling. Say, no, they're gone. They're gone. They're in Tennessee and such. So don't worry. Excuse me. And that way, like I said, these still Bullet Club, a real Bullet Club. This is a Bullet Club right here. We're not cheap ripoffs trying to read the past or trying to regain some relevance and doing corner reunions just to sell some t-shirts. Yeah, they looking like they're going to really go after these guys. This looks like that. And New Japan, Impact. Personally, I just want to see, John Silver fight against Raju for the X Division Championship and win. That's all I want for this stuff. I mean, come on. That's money they're making right there. uh, but that's just it. That's what it is. At the end of the day, though, there's a lot of people who's going to be hyped about this, and I can't wait to see what's going to be yep. I can't wait to see the aftermath of all of this. I can't wait. Here's hoping, though, with this Forbidden Door and everything else, maybe we'll find some more positive stuff. Maybe some good positive stuff can happen that can, again in wrestling, because it'd be nice to see in the world of pro wrestling we can see some really good positive change with this stuff, and more works, more people getting feet out the table, which always is good, and hopefully all this ends with more stars being created and building people up. That's what it is. But that's my own 2 cents on that. I want to hear you all talk about this, not just here, but also in what's your thoughts about this? Because again, I'm happy for it, but I can see why some people might be a little bit hesitant. I can see why some people can be a little hesitant about this because once again, you have a lot of stars here. Who is the star? What's going to be a way to make these new stars? Because Kenny Omega, for the most part, has been an absentee champion. It just feels like the show has just been really, there's some cool moments, but where is this all leading towards? And it just feels like there's not much here in that situation. There's not much um, here to really just to make the show seem to be important. We don't know where is this going to lead up. That's how that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that. When is this going to really start building and building? That's the one thing you gotta start building, and that's what you got to do is to start building up these start building up, which is always a good thing. And I'm hopeful that I'm hopeful that this will start building up not just AEW talent but other talents as well. Well, that was fun. We're gonna take a small little break here, and after that we'll talk some EA and some Anthem, because there's been some news about Anthem. And well, I just think it's going to be a very, I don't know what's the, people are worried about, you know, what's going to happen with Anthem right now. So it's going to be a very interesting topic to discuss in the next, this week, because they're still debating on that. What EA is going to do. What's the solution? What Anthem is going to do and such. About what's going on with them. Anyway, we're going to talk more about that after we take a small break here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back right after this here live on TalkShoe.com and on YouTube as well. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Duke CT. Thanks so much for joining me on this Thursday at 8 p.m. And we're talking about Anthem. And, well, Anthem is not. And, wow, it's been a a wild ride for them. And there are some who think that Anthem needs to go away. Who thinks that Anthem has been a, let me just see, share this thing. Put this right here. Da, 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 da. Right here from the Forbes article saying what this right here. A new report is coming that at long last, EA is about to commit to one direction or another for the long, gas-dating, somewhat baffling reboot of Anthem, known as Anthem 2.0 or Anthem Next. Jason Schreier at Bloomberg reports that EA is set to make a decision this week about Anthem's fate, whether or not to triple down on the revival idea, when they have previously doubled down by having a team of 30 or so working in incubation mode for the future of the game for the past year and a half. To move forward, they would have to at least triple the size of that team, the report says. As someone, it says right here, the person is as someone who has played more Anthem than most and been more than generous in my assessment of the IP. Even if a perfect world, I would love to see a total revitalized Anthem 2.0 and have a new looter to add to my rotation. He's like, I still have to say, nope, don't do it. It just doesn't make any sense at this point. Wow. And you listed out a couple factors, which is true. They losing their leads, Kristen Daly. And again, they have multiple leads. In fact, Anthem has had such a rough patch. I mean, Anthem has just had a really, it's been it's one of the most, you sit there and you're like, wow, this whole Anthem has been a complete, you look what happened to it. I mean, Anthem, for all of its, for all of its things. I mean, heck, when it came out, when it first came out, I can't believe this. Let me see if I can find the thing. It's on Wikipedia. Yada yada yada. Da, 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 da. Here it is. Here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Actions. Yeah. There it is. Where is it? I mean, they were going to. I think they had something. They were going. Was Beyond. That's what it was. They were going to call it Beyond. They had everything else ready, but they changed it up. They called it Anthem afterwards, which is so. You look at that, you're like, I know it's Wikipedia. I know. Let's see if I can share the screen here, and let me see if I can find the where was this the working title? Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Jason Schreier, where BioWare went wrong. Right here. Here it is. I found the article. Let me just put this here. And I think I already showed this. But if I haven't, here it is. And here's the link here. If I can find it, I'll put the link. Let me see. Let me tell you something. I'll put the link in the description right there. On the chat right here. Because y'all got to look at this stuff here. It's in the chat right here. But also I'll put this in the description as well. Because, man, this is a complete and total. You look at this, you're like, what just happened? Gosh. You look at it, you're just like amazed by how badly this whole thing was covered. It's because it wasn't supposed to be called Anthem. They were calling it Beyond. They had Beyond t-shirts. They had everything else. But when they couldn't get the title of the game right, the days before the annual E3 convention of 2017. They said Beyond. They had T-shirts. They had all of this was. And then a week before the Los Angeles press conference and everything else, they secured their website. So they said, okay, we had to go to backup of Anthem. But yeah, it says, but that's what it was. And then even then, when they said this quote right here, everyone's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. What does this have to do with anything? It just doesn't mean anything. Beyond was like going beyond the walls of your fort into the dangerous wilds around you. Everything seems dangerous. Beyond. That's what it felt like. It was at least something. But Anthem, what does it mean? Anthem is just, I mean, is it something to rally around? Is it to the whole theme of the game? Anthem just doesn't even, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't even work. And when you have that, even when the people who are working on the game saying they had a brand new name and they had nothing, it was nothing. And that was it. And honestly, when you look at all these the issues of what this game had, just all the upheaval and everything else, what this article talks about, and you see what's going on. You wonder why Anthem just felt disjointed and just scuttled, and you didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know what to do because they had nothing. They had nothing, and that's a shame because BioWare for many years, for many years, people, Anthem, I mean, BioWare, and not even EA has a little bit of situation, but then after all this, let's go back to the point. After so much drama and so much things here, you have to look and say, is it worth it to bring it back? And, well, like I said, after all the drama here, they just looked and said, you know what? It's like, no. They should, everyone's moving on, and they should. There's like, right here, it says, after all the drama that went through Anthem, would anyone would want to give this thing another chance? Would people pay money to see another Anthem after that terrible first? Because the old saying is you can't make a second first impression. And one of these high AAA huge things are they screw up their first impressions, from Cyberpunk to Marvel's Avengers to this game Anthem, to all this stuff. They screw up their first impression. They screw it up. And they wonder why people just say, you know what, I'm just going to get a refund. Heck, even Cyberpunk, Sony, the PS4, Sony. This is the same company when you look back in the past when I think Elder Scrolls Skyrim is basically terrible how to play in that game. And yet, they said you can sell that thing and everything's fine. But this, like Cyberpunk, was like, no, this was so broken. We're not selling this on the PS4 anymore. And it's this type of terribleness. It's this type of just a lack of quality control of this. And EA doing this because 30 people working on this for a year and a half is tiny. Exactly. And just look at this. Warframe and Destiny have hundreds of people working on them all the time. What could the scale of an Anthem reboot possibly be with a team that size? And it doesn't matter because, again, it's like it wouldn't be anything meaningful. And they're saying, and again, this Diablo 3, and then you have Final Fantasy 14, which I'm tired of hearing that. Because what is the Final Fantasy 14 did? They had to change things. They apologized. They fully committed and said, we are sorry. We are so sorry. We apologize, and we're going to make this thing better. And they took how much how much money they put down that thing just to make that thing better. Especially Final Fantasy 14. Because honestly, Square Enix, that is their baby, and they screwed it up. So they're like, you know what? We have to make this right. And they did. It cost them a pretty penny, and they're still doing some expansions, but I don't think they're ever going to get a true profit. I don't know. Maybe they will, but I mean, look at what people saying. Well, you had to put gobs and gobs of money into it. And then Final Fantasy, at the end of the day, it's not a new IP. It is a recognized IP with multiple sequels, multiple characters, multiple connections with fan bases, not just in Japan, not just in Europe, not just but the entire planet. What does Anthem have? Is that anywhere close to or anything like that at all? Is it close to, ladies and gentlemen, to anything near Diablo 3 or Final Fantasy 14? Is it? The answer is no. The answer is no. And heck, even then, the article says this as well. They had goodwill. Anthem has none of that. It's a brand new IP. Remember as a meme. Exactly. Yeah, but they did. Yeah, that's true. And but well, say No Man's Sky and the person behind No Man's Sky fixed things. He gave them what they wanted. You got to get the people what they want, says Alexander. He talks about the best friends getting them a big old hug or whatever. You got to get the people what they want, and they did. They did. That the people of No Man's Sky and all this stuff. They gave the people what they want. They kept fixing it, and by goodness, No Man's Sky. They made that game into one of the best games I've ever seen. A turnaround that I might actually start looking to buying it because they haven't done everything, but by goodness, they really came close to. And I'm like, I never got into it, but I'm gonna probably get into it this year. I need to get a big old computer to do it, but I will probably get into that this year. Because man, No Man's Sky did a turnaround, and that was amazing. That was amazing, ladies and gentlemen. What is EA gonna do? Is EA gonna have that same thing with No Man's Sky? The people behind No Man's Sky, are they gonna have that type of heart and energy? Do they? The answer, no, they don't. And yeah, like I said, look at this. It is that BioWare's priorities are on Dragon Age 4 and Mass Effect, not just the sequel, but also the remaster, which a lot of people have issues with that, with all the butt shots and everything getting removed and everything else. Look, all I'm saying is that the games, be as actually be good, instead of just being, oh gosh, clunky or whatever. I don't want a game. I love Mass Effect series. I love it, but my hope is for the next one is actually consistent and make it an RPG that actually works for everyone. It actually works and people want to get into. And right here, people have moved on from Anthem. 90 people, 30, 90, it doesn't matter. And people move on. And I agree with this article. And yeah. Or heck, if you really want to do something, EA, maybe make a video game from Anthem's assets and make something new. And make something new. Make it like a smaller, cheaper game. And just say, make a, I don't know, somewhat Iron Man clone game or whatever. Because that'd been fun. Because there are some ideas from Anthem. Just flying around in an Iron Man suit looks to be amazing, and I like that. That looked fun, but man, it just screams that Anthem wasn't really Anthem doesn't look like a real good Anthem felt when I looked at it and I saw it. It felt like it could have been a Mass Effect game. It could have been something else, but instead, it's just. Look, what is it? It's forgotten now. I mean, do people really care about Anthem? Do you actually sit there and watch and say, "My gosh, Anthem is one of the best games"? EA's Anthem will bring people in, but I don't see it. Okay. They haven't really responded to that yet. They still haven't done anything um about EA and Anthem's thing. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. But my thing is, if I was look at Anthem and seeing the internal report, I would say let's just move on from it and try to learn from mistakes and try to make our other games better. That should be BioWare's thing. We failed here, but we're going to try to make good with Dragon Age 4. We're going to try to make good with the next Mass Effect. And we're going to try to make good with the next other new IPs we're working on. And leave Anthem in the rear view. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Anthem, I believe, could have been great, but it just didn't have the connections with the people at all. And that's I'm gonna end it here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching once again. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for continuing to support me, Dukect, the downloads and everything else. Almost at 100,000 download over. I am again humbled, and I just want to say thank you so much for listening and being a part of this. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking with me, Dukect, the Dukect Lounge will be live next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. This is Dukect. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.